Welcome back to the Tahoe Real Estate Show. Jeff joins us from the TRPA. Jeff, one of our community partners here. And affordable housing, a lot of changes, and you haven't seen anything yet, right?
Right, exactly. So we got into affordable housing and trying to create more deed-restricted workforce housing in the basin by lowering costs through the regional plan, through our land use policies, permitting and development rights and things like that. We started back in 2020. We've already made a lot of progress, but what we did was what we consider to actually be kind of like the easier stuff, the lower hanging fruit, things that don't take a lot of time and don't take a lot of analysis. Allowing accessory dwelling units on more parcels, creating incentives for redevelopment in town centers. But we're on the next phase, which we're calling cultivating community, conserving the basin. And this is a much bigger, longer effort, and it's going to go deeper, and it's going to be far more inclusive and holistic than anything that we've ever done before. And it's going to really bring the region together with working groups that actually better represent underrepresented communities, right. What we're calling priority communities, that are groups throughout the basin, whether they be low income, whether they be a household without a car.
Let's talk about some of these categories,
okay.
Right? Because it's rare to see a governmental agency trying to address this, especially here in this community.
Right.
So you talk about low income, that's generally what people are going, hey, do I qualify? It's generally 60% or below?
It's going to be like 60% of median income and lower, and very low is 30% of median income and lower. And we're looking for as much representation from everybody 60% and lower as possible, but we're also looking for representation and to be able to reach into folks who have access abilities and disabilities, folks who have zero cars available in their household.
You're talking about senior citizens as well, our aging population?
That's right. It could be anybody who is confined to a wheelchair, who is sight impaired.
Okay.
And then of course, there's probably a lot of senior citizens that are in this group too. And then
we're racially diverse here in this community.
Yeah.
How about BIPOC initiatives?
Yes, there is a whole underrepresented group that we are focusing on. In addition to that is anyone of underrepresented ethnicity origin, which fits into Black, Indigenous, and people of color, right?
Yep.
So those are kind of like community priorities. But what we found through a transportation equity study we did last year is that a lot of these priority communities are really geographically co-located, and they're in areas where there isn't great transportation resources to get to like prescription drugs, to get to like a Whole Foods like grocery store that has a lot of options, recreation, parks, beaches, and also work in transit. So the equity study looked at that from a transportation perspective, but we're able to leverage that and now look at it through a community engagement perspective. So a lot of cultivating community is about building long-term, meaningful two-way engagement between agencies and priority communities. This is something that is perhaps missing in a lot of areas because there are folks who just don't get into the whole meeting schedule. They have so many things at home that they need to overcome in order to just participate and engage.
Go to the TRPA's website. Thank you, Jeff, for coming in. Stay tuned. More of the Tahoe Real Estate Show coming right up.